I'm actually going to step this way first.
What sets the pace? Your arms set the pace, not your legs. You think the legs set
Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, I earn my pay. Hard work, do it every day. Hard work, I get up about 2:45. Hard work, to go and earn my pay. Hard work, put my boots on and lace them up. Hard work, got another day's of work. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, I earn my pay. Hard work, I get off the rock, I move on down. Hard work, to go, make the call. Hard work, bring 'em on the doors in the morning.
Power to the people, if you understand, sing for me. Yeah. Power to the people, if you understand, sing for me. Say you feel me. Power to the people, if you understand, sing for me.
Hello, welcome to another episode of the People's Podcast. I'm your host, Ismail Saeed. I'm here with Asaad today, personal trainer and health guru. Asaad, man, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. I'm grateful, first and foremost, to have this opportunity. I think what you're doing right now with this platform is amazing. We need more of this, more positivity, highlighting our abilities, some very, very unique abilities. So yes, I'm blessed, thankful to God, and I mean, I'm happy to be here.
I heard that. I appreciate it. I appreciate you showing up and being here and doing this interview. So, real quick, man, tell us who you are. Tell the listeners what you do. Give us, tell us who you are.
Yeah. So I my full name, if you guys can follow, my full name is Muhammad Asaad Ibn Abdul Hakim Davis. So I know it's a lot to take in, a lot to digest, but people just call me Asaad. It's very simplistic. It means lion. So I kind of wear that name, carry it like a badge of honor.
That's right.
And so everything I do in life, I just think about my name and how I have to carry myself with honor, dignity. I have to respect others in order to get respect. As far as who I am and what I do, man, it's a lengthy story. Once again, I'm appreciative to the podcast, People's Podcast, for allowing me to come on and share a little bit of it. But like everybody, it has a beginning. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, in Bed-Stuy. My parents moved when I was 3 years old to California. And I grew up in California pretty much. We actually had one stop along the way, but it was a very short stint. But pretty much grew up in California. Just surrounded by health and fitness, right? I mean, that's just kind of what it's like in California. And for those who've never been there before, everybody's kind of always thinking about how can they better their lives from a fitness standpoint. I got involved in fitness. It's a very, very funny story. So just kind of fast forward, through my adolescent years, pretty much going into college as a freshman, fixated on sports. Wanting to play sports, track and field was my thing. Football was my thing. I liked basketball, but wasn't really good at basketball, but athletic enough to play. Right. But my biggest thing was football, track and field. And I love just to be fast and move quickly and do things like that.
Yeah.
It's a funny story. I actually got a part-time job, when I was a freshman in college. Got a part-time job at a sporting goods store called Sports Authority. And I'm in there working, like any associate, just working, taking care of my customers. I worked in the shoe department. And so once again, I'm, like I said, just kind of let you know, I'm into fitness already. Yeah. Into sports, love to compete. And so a guy comes into my department, he's buying shoes, like any customer would. But this guy, he's not looking like a normal individual, right? He seems to be a little upset, a little agitated. And as an associate, what you do is, customer service. That's what we do. Somebody comes into your store, no matter what you sell, you have to sell it with a smile on your face. You have to, greet the customer. And so I did that, but not like any other greet. Typically I walk up, hi, sir, hi, ma'am, you need help, so on. but not this guy. This guy said, you know what? I'm going to go above and beyond because clearly he wasn't having a good day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you guys know this, but like, if you ever watch golf and you watch the covers that they put on the clubs.
Yeah.
Well, Tiger Woods, he had his own tiger looked like a puppet, right?
Yeah.
And that was a version of the the club cover.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the golf department, which is right next to the shoe department. I grabbed Tiger Woods' little golf cover,
Mm-hmm.
and I put it on my right hand, and I approached the individual, and I asked him, I said, how you doing? Do you need any help? But the way I did it was, I did it like I had a muppet, like I had a puppet, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm talking, but I'm making my voice, right? I'm altering my voice to sound like a puppet. This is true story.
Yes.
This is how I got started in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
So the guy looks at me, and he responds to me like, I'm okay. And when he looks at me, I kind of shake my head no, like, sir, I didn't ask you the question. He did. And I pointed to my hand that had the golf cover, the Tiger Woods puppet on it, right? So the guy looks at me like, are you serious? Like, are we really about to do this? I'm a grown man. You're a grown man. And here you are bringing us back to this childhood moment. You got me looking at this so-called puppet or whatever you got in here. And you're talking as though this puppet is the one that's speaking. So anyway, so he said, no, I'm okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. So I said, no worries. Once again, still playing the role as the puppet.
Yeah.
So my voice is, I'm altering my voice, changing it, making it to where, he can respond to the puppet. But anyway, so he said, no, he was okay. He left. Obviously I went about my business, continued to work throughout the day. At the end of my shift, I get the associate, the cashier at the front,
mm-hmm.
customer service. She says, hey, Asaad, you have this note. Somebody left their number for you. So I said, okay, grabbed it, of course, to see what it was all about. And the guy's name was Scott.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's name was Scott. I won't give his last name, but the guy's name was Scott. He basically left his number and he said, please give me a call. He says, you have a really good personality. I think I have an opportunity that you would at least listen to. An offer that you would at least listen to.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him a call after my shift, got off about maybe 8 o'clock, gave him a call. And he said, hey, listen, man. He says, I own a gym. This particular gym, Bally Total Fitness. So it's basically a franchise. So he purchased this gym.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, listen, man, you look like you're in shape, got a good personality. What you did today was amazing. I was having a bad day. He said, believe it or not, that little puppet thing you had going on, that had me laughing in the car all the way back to the gym. So, I was like, wow. He said, listen, he was like, would you want to come into my office and sit down and we can talk about, what your goals are, what you're passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
So sure enough, obviously I take the offer. I go in, see him. We talk for a good, maybe, 45 minutes. And he threw it on the table. He said, listen, I think you would be really, really good in the fitness industry.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, like I said, I'm already into fitness. I'm already into sports. I know one basically is the same as the other. So I said, listen, yeah, most definitely. Was going to school for health science anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, yeah, it all lines up. That's pretty much it, man. I took 3 courses over the next year and a half. I took 2 courses through the university. Others I had to outsource. I had to go other places to take them. They didn't offer those courses on campus. I got my license and I started training. 18 years later now, which is actually 19 years, mm-hmm. I carry 7 different licenses to train from the elderly, general population, all the way to sports specific, which is dealing with adolescents, young athletes, and so forth and so on. So that's pretty much my story within 20 minutes.
You took an opportunity that many don't take, almost like go out on a limb type of thing, and part of life, especially what you do and most things that you do, you have to sometimes go outside of the box, especially if you're goal orientated. You have to go outside of the box. And what you did is you went outside of the box and, the Almighty opened the doors for you, because you did it sincerely. Like, I'm trying to get this guy to have a better day, but also see if he needs some help, buy some shoes, this and this. And that opened a lot of doors for you. From there, where did you take it? What do you do actually specifically with all the licenses that you carry? What's your main focus now?
So yeah, my main focus is the youth. I had a guy, and I'm gonna say his full name because I know he would appreciate it. A guy named Anthony Barnes. Mm-hmm. Anthony Barnes worked at the university. He was a track and field guy. Mm-hmm. And he pretty much kind of took me under his wing. He saw me running at the track one day, and I was just out there training and, just trying to, drop my times. And, I was a 100-meter guy, 200-meter guy, just trying to drop my times, trying to get faster, just training. And he saw how fast I was. He was like, wow. And he comes down to the track and he says, listen, just to kind of rewind a little bit. So I went to a Division III school. The track that I was on was a Division I, was Fresno State University. Mm-hmm. So this was not the university, the college that I was attending. I was on another campus training. So this track coach did not know me. Mm-hmm. He walks up and pretty much was like, hey, listen, what's your name? I told him my name. He said, man, you're really, really fast. So anyway, he started to really help me perfect my technique. It's amazing. Out of all of the studying and all the licenses that I carry, and I carry 3 licenses under sports medicine. So 3 of my licenses are under sports medicine. They kind of branch off from there. Mm-hmm. But the technique that he taught me years ago when I was probably 18 or 19 years old, I used that same technique over the technique that I learned in some of these books. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because what works? Is it effective? So now my main focus now is predicated on helping the youth. Yeah. And there's so many ways to help the youth, obviously from an academic standpoint, from a mental health standpoint, from a physical standpoint, so many ways to help the youth. And I just feel like this is my way of helping the youth. This is what I'm good at. This is what I'm passionate about. And so yeah, it's all about the youth at this point, everything.
That plays a big role in a lot of things that we want to touch up on with the podcast, about, fitness, staying in health, that all revolves around your self-being and your self-confidence, how you, perceive yourself and go about life. So, is it rewarding? Is it rewarding for you that that what you do is, I know the road has been tough, going through college, going through the licensing, working, selling shoes at first, and the road. We could probably do a whole show about your journey in itself, but we want to concentrate more so on where you at now, what you're doing now, maybe bring you back and do a whole show on your journey, because the journey is where it's at. But, what you're doing now, is it rewarding for you?
Oh, yes. You know me, right? Yeah. So it's like, it's kind of amazing, right? I know I'm talking to the masses, but I feel like I'm talking to Unc. It's just me and him in the room and we rapping. So, right. and I know I can't be like that, right? I got to be able to say, man, Unc,
you could do some of that. It'd be
it's funny, right? But that's how I feel. I feel like that's what I'm doing. But the reality is, yes, people want to know your story, right? People are interested. So what I do now, yes, I'm pretty much, so the name of my business, my company that I'm growing from the ground up, I planted the seed probably maybe 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And so now 7 years later, I'm here, Dynamic Speed. Our slogan is, it takes an athlete to play a sport. Mm-hmm. So all the athletes that I get in front of, I always tell them, listen, I don't care what sport you play. Obviously you can catch me and say, certain sports like golf, don't require athleticism, which, I can actually kind of, dispute that as well, because, it takes some flexibility, some wiriness, and all that stuff to play golf. But
most of those golf players are in very good shape.
Very good shape. Very good shape. Extremely flexible. Yes, very, very, quick twitchy, especially with the drive and things of that nature. So every sport, right, it takes some type of an athlete to play that sport. So when I get in front of my young athletes,